All right. First and foremost, want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Rakak Madash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS that rule well. And peace, love, and salutation to the brothers out there pushing this word of sincerity and the truth. Shalom to the brothers, sisters, and children out there keeping this word of sincerity and the truth. I just wanted to go into this quick lesson on this article. It says why it's so hard to change U.S. gun laws. And it says legislative reform on gun violence isn't impossible or even unprecedented. These are the key obstacles that would need to be addressed. And I'm gonna just read the little top portion of it. It says gun control advocacy groups rallied with Democratic members of Congress outside the U.S. Capitol on Thursday, organized by Moms Demand Action, Everytown for Gun Safety, and Students Demand Action. The rally brought together members of Congress and gun violence survivors to demand gun safety legislation following mass shootings in Buffalo, New York, and Uvalde, Texas. I'm probably pronounced it wrong, but it says the shooting at Robb Elementary School in Texas on Thursday was the second deadliest school shooting since 1970. But in the aftermath of Columbine, Parkland, Sandy Hook, and nearly 1,000 other school shootings since 2012, which we know some of these have been false flags, too falsified by paid actors. You know, Esau Edom have his operations that he set up to his operations so that he can push a certain agenda or push a certain laws to put in place so he can move forward with his plans. But it says, in nearly 1,000 other school shootings since 2012, advocates for nationwide gun control measures like universal background checks and banning assault rifles have run into political realities that have stopped these efforts from moving forward. Right. And I'm going to just jump straight into the scriptures, because there's nothing that they can do, or there's nothing that will be done, I should say it like that, about gun control, gun violence, the guns in America, because these weapons are a part of they're a part of prophecy, and with them being a part of prophecy, that means they have to still be here, because if it was put in place where they was able to stop the sales of guns and try to seize or control the guns over here in America, then how would these prophecies be fulfilled? There's nothing that will be done to stop these prophecies. So I'm going to read 2nd Ezra 15, start at verse 1. It says, Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord. Right? And a part of prophecy is the Lord bringing these plagues on the earth, and a part of those plagues is the sword. The modern day sword, is the guns. And cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. Right? Because you're going to have people that come against this word, come against the truth, because they don't believe. You know, they're not believers. They don't trust in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua or the words of this book, words of the prophecies. It says, for all the unfaithful should die in their unfaithfulness. Right? And it's mainly it's talking about our people, you know, because we understand we don't care about the other nations. They don't have to believe in the scriptures. They don't have to believe in prophecies. But it's for our people to believe in the words of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. That's why the Lord started with speak thou in the ears of my people. And who are his people? The Israelites, so-called Black, Hispanic, Latino, and Native American, and anyone that descend from that lineage on their father's side. It says, Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. And the modern day sword is the guns. And famine, which we see all of that brewing up with the inflation taking place. And also, too, with them saying that there's only a 10-week supply of wheat left, and 10-week supply of wheat left, and also, too, with different farmlands being destroyed, being controlled, because we know Bill Gates, he has bought up all the farmland over here in America. It says famine, death, and destruction, and this is why the Lord is doing it. It says, for wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Right. And now I'm gonna jump down to get more so to the point. Verse 14, it said, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hand." Right, and those swords in their hand, it's going to be the guns. And this is also going to, the race riots, the race wars, people rising up against each other. And also, too, going back to the point of when it become a famine, when it's a famine in the world or famine in the land, now people have to find other means of survival to eat. They have to find ways to provide for their family. They have to find ways to keep whatever they have protected, because if they have food, they know other people are hunting to try to find food. So now they're going to have a way to protect themselves. So how are they going to be able to protect themselves if they don't have any weapons or any type of guns or anything? So guns is the modern day sword is the gun. So they have to have, it's part of prophecy that they're going to have weapons, because it has to be a lot of death and destruction. It has to be a lot of violence in the land before everything is destroyed. When I say everything destroyed, I mean thermonuclear missiles come and hit this place, America. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. Right. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city, and shall not be able. Right. For because of their pride, the city shall be destroyed, the houses shall be the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Right. Because of everything that's going on, all the violence that's going on, you won't be able to go to stores and buy food. Life, the whole way of life and the American dream will be totally changed for good. Because if it ain't no more food circulating, ain't no more food going to these stores, ain't no more jobs, then how are people going to survive? How are they going to eat? How are they going to provide for the family? They don't know what the future may hold as far as, in their mind. So it's gonna be a crazy time during this time. So that's why men gonna be afraid. Men gonna be like women during this time. Isaiah 19. Verse 19, here go the point. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword. And what is the sword? The modern day sword is the gun. And spoil their goods. Right, and this is why. Because of lack of bread and for great tribulation. For lack of bread going into that famine, and for great tribulation because so much chaos is going on the earth, for violence is going on the earth. People gonna need some type of way to survive during this time. So it ain't gonna be no more how people say now, oh, we brothers, you my brother, man, we gotta be strong, we gotta be together. All that's gonna be out the window. Now it's gonna be every man for himself, everybody for himself. And in most cases, families gonna break up behind this, and in most cases. So right. And also too, I'm gonna get it in 2nd Ezra 16. The 2nd Ezra chapter 16. I'm gonna start at verse 17. Woe is me, who would deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death. Of course, what behind famine is gonna come great death, because you're gonna have people starving to death. You're gonna have people killing each other for food. You're gonna have people killing each other to eat each other. And then also too, you're gonna have other people dying from different things. Like it ain't gonna be no more medicine, so people gonna be dying from diseases. People gonna be dying because they don't have, if they don't have no place to stay, they might die, and it might be winter time. They're gonna be dying from freezing to death, or summer people gonna be dying from dehydration. It's gonna be great death. It's gonna be many ways people gonna be getting taken out. And then it says, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. Right? So all these things are sent to the earth for our people to get themselves together and get themselves right. It's sent to the earth so that they can see that the time that we living in is the times of the end. So now you need to get yourself together. And that's why I say for amendment, so they can amend their ways, turn back to Yahweh Shem Yahushua, and He'll have mercy on them. But for all these things, they shall not turn from the wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case, and even then shall evils grow upon earth. Sword, which modern day sword is famine. More people gonna be getting shot. More people gonna be getting killed. Famine, people gonna be dying from hunger. And because it's a lack of food, people gonna be going and killing each other, robbing from each other, stealing each other, and stealing from each other, and eating each other. And great confusion. For many of them that dwell on the earth shall perish of famine. There you go. That people gonna die from hunger and starvation, and die from being thirsty. And the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. Right? Shall the sword destroy. So if they do have food, it's gonna be other people going around hunting, killing, and stealing from each other so that they can survive. It's gonna be every man for himself during that time. But the elect will be that they will be saved. They will be protected by Yahweh Shem Yahushua. They gonna eat. They gonna have food. They gonna have water to drink. You know, they gonna have things to drink. They gonna be taken care of via Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And they ain't gonna have to go labor or store up food or do anything of any sort. The Lord is gonna provide and do everything for them. All they have to do is trust in Yahweh Shem Yahushua, keep that faith. I'm reading again. For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy, and the dead shall be cast out as dung. Right, because it's gonna be a lot of dead bodies, a lot of people dying. You're just gonna see dead bodies everywhere. So it's gonna be cast out as dung. You know, it's just gonna be on the ground. Ain't nobody finna pick it up or bury it. You know, just like you see like dog poop somewhere on the ground. Ain't nobody finna just go pick it up and go dispose of it. You know, it's just gonna stay there. You know, or any type of poop, because you got other type of animals that's all around. So it said, and the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them. Right, no man to bury them, no man to, you know, properly dispose of the bodies, or comfort anyone that lost the dead. You know, they're dead, because everybody's gonna be going through going through tribulation. It says, for the earth shall be wasted, and the city shall be cast down. So going into these gun laws, it's gonna get worse. It ain't gonna get no better. You know, it's not gonna get better at all. But I just wanted to get that quick lesson, going to a quick article about, you know, the gun laws. There's many scriptures going into how it's gonna be a lot of death and destruction in these times that we're coming upon. So with that, I hope this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praise to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua B'Shem Harakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS that rule well. And peace, love, and salutation to the brothers out there pushing this word of sincerity and the truth. And peace, love, and salutation to the brothers, sisters, and children out there keeping this word of sincerity and the truth. Shalom.